Hey everyone, this is Brett Indies, the dog savant, dogtrainingla.com. Sorry about the dark. We're going to come out of the parking garage here. It should get a little lighter here in a sec. But it's 6:15 on a Sunday morning, and I am headed to my first 7 a.m. client. I like to call myself the hardest working dog trainer out there. Why is it? It's because people really need me, and I feel so fortunate to be able to have this ability to help dogs, to come over to people's houses and provide relief to their dogs' problems or the stresses that both species are experiencing from these disconnects that happen in the relationship. So what motivated me to make this video this morning? Well, there's a specific instance that has prompted me, because when I see myself working so hard, I hear the feedback, read the feedback. I have great online reviews, from how I've been helping people. I hear all these people every day tell me how they've seen other trainers, paid good money, and I'm able to actually help their dogs when they thought that their dog, was a lost cause or was going to have to get rehomed or put to sleep for their behavior problems. And and these people are telling me I'm the guy who's able to get through to these guys, these dogs, and help them. So that's my identity at this point. This is who I am. I don't wear a hat like I'm the dog savant and then I take it off at night. You're getting me. My clients are getting me. I don't have a life outside of my work and my daughter. That's it. My life is two-dimensional. It's my devotion to dogs and devotion to my child. And why am I expressing this? Because I usually like to stay professional and not get too personal unless it's sharing good personal stuff. But I recently had discovered that a client of mine, and this is someone I had worked with almost 2 years ago in another state. I don't even operate my business in this, where this person lives anymore. And they decided they wanted to put a negative Yelp review about me, and my training abilities, my business acumen, simply because of a misunderstanding of, I guess I had apparently owed them a couple $100 refund from when I moved, and it was overlooked. And as soon as it was brought to my attention, I resolved it. I gave them a full refund. I don't want anyone to, I don't want to take a penny of anyone's money, if they're not satisfied. And that's really what this comes down to, is that I remember this case. I remember this is a very young college student and her boyfriend living with roommates. Their living situation was pretty chaotic. The girl had this dog purely for her emotional needs, and this dog was a very intelligent, sensitive dog that did not learn good habits as a puppy, and we had to create a very strict and structured lifestyle for this dog to rehabilitate as far as her dog aggression issues. And and I did my best to help her. I knew the limitations of them as owners, but I'm always trying to work with what we got, because who else is going to help these dogs? I try to be positive as far as looking for a solution through whatever means. So we ended up having to use different training tools, ended up using an e-collar, electronic collar. She of course says in the review a shock collar, which I don't use for a whole lot of dogs, but it is useful for dogs that can be difficult or the owner isn't pulling their weight, yet we've got to do something to help this dog so that they remain in their home, and not end up in a worse situation. And I've had success using them, and I stand behind them because they are humane and safe for dogs if used properly. But I'm not per se a shock collar trainer. It's like the last resort, and I might use it in 1 out of 100 cases that I see. But this person, of course, in the review wanted to, point reference to that and use the term shock to sensationalize. And, now that anyone who reads the reviews is going to assume that that's the kind of training that I do, primarily. And it's not. And that's, again, what I take issue with, is the people who, their limitations. I'm not saying these are bad dog owners. Their limitations psychologically or in a relational way, they're not meeting their dog's needs. And this is the biggest thing that I reward my clients for, because 99% of them do the work. They make the adjustments, they take the time, they create the structured environment for their dog, they go out and do the work. But every now and then I'll get someone, and they're usually even then aware enough and have enough humility to realize that maybe they were just too busy, or that dog was more than they emotionally could change for, and I understand. And again, I'm on my client's side. But when somebody wants to go on the attack and paint a picture of someone that's directly going to harm them, their ability to help other dogs, I really want to just speak out about it. And when I'm here, it's 6:15 in the morning, and I'm on my way to my first client, and I'm not going to get done till 9 o'clock. And this isn't a complaint. It's because I must be doing something right. And I've been, doing this for a long time. So again, I want to point out an anomaly that maybe this isn't, like when you go to a restaurant and you're, maybe, the food was bad or a fly was in your soup. This is me who you're writing a bad review about. And this is what I do, and I've helped a lot of people, and I have the evidence, to back this up. So when one person decides that they want to, paint a picture of something other than what the rest are seeing or their experiences, we have to put it back on that individual. And that's unfortunately what I feel like I'm going to have to do in a future video. Is take this Yelp review and break it down and explain psychologically what is going on here, in terms of the narcissistic inclinations a lot of people have, when it comes to these online rants, or the way that people like to bully people online, or make their feelings about something valid versus what's really going on, because your opinion isn't always what's right, and you could hurt people with that opinion if you feel too strongly about it. So I hope I articulated my point. I don't want to get into too many specifics. It's about the dogs, but nonetheless, somebody doing something like this could potentially limit my ability to help as many dogs as I possibly can. And that's, again, what I devote my life to. Every waking moment that I'm alive, I think about how can I spread my message and teach owners how to understand their dogs better, to help with the problems. It's an epidemic, and there's not that many guys like me doing this work, taking on the cases that even a lot of other trainers will shy away from or don't know how to handle. And it's not me saying how great I am. It's just what I've observed, heard as far as feedback, and it's who I am. And it gets personal when somebody tries to attack something because of their own limitations, when I'm doing what I've done and devoted myself to for every single client, from the day I started doing this. Anyway, thanks for listening. I really appreciate you taking the time to hear what I have to say. It's coming from my heart, so this really means a lot to me. Thanks. Have a great day, guys. Love your dog. Bye-bye.